As one or two of you in the audience has seen, John, my husband, the musician, who's out of town right now, did things in the Omniphonic Challenge, and he could not be here, and so I thought I would play some repeated music from one of the tracks from our poems for my 10-minute feature. I was going to read things, obviously, from a book called Contents Under Pressure, because the stuff in here is really volatile. Contents Under Pressure. How many times am I going to make that reference? But I wanted to have some poems from this book, so I thought I would just read these in order without any ask for applause or anything like that, and I will just play the music and see how it goes. Now, I've got very humorous pieces in here, and I've got stuff that covers all sorts of topics, but I was trying to keep things along a theme, so the poems that are in this collection will cover everything from work to religion to sexism, because for those of you who don't know, I worked as an acquaintance workshop facilitator for years, so I have a lot of that kind of stuff in there as well. And I've got policeman stories, including the last piece that was in the Omniphonic Challenge, but I don't have any voice altering effects. And the other note I will say is that some of these poems have quotes from other people in them. I will have a little piece of paper that says I'm quoting someone at the time, because I have these quotes in the beginning of these poems as well, so I figure I should let you know what is actually a quote in this. So here are a bunch of poems. If you would like to know what they are, you can always check them out on the website for the cafe, which is www.chaoticarts.org/thecafe. I will have listings of things from every week, and you can find out about these shows, or you can just come and ask me, because, you know, I'm mellow that way, I'll tell you. So I hope you enjoy these poems. Thanks. At work, we've been looking for a new employee. We've sifted through resumes, we've interviewed a few. And some were good, some were really good. And we took some time to decide, and we called our #1 choice. And they said they wanted more money than we offered. So we said our goodbyes, and we called our second choice. And they said they couldn't work, it's such a small place. So someone at work said that maybe we should interview some more. And that's when I knew that at the rate we were going, we'd never find anyone, and no one would want us. Rape is connected to the frustration produced by living in this society. Rape is anger misdirected towards the socially accepted targets. Women. I didn't get the promotion I deserved. I work in a cubicle. The boss doesn't even know my name. I put in too much overtime. I mean, this tie makes it hard to breathe. The traffic is always in my way. There's all these bills I have to pay. I'm angry all the time. And the damn kids are banging their toys when I come home, and dinner is never on time, and your looks have just gone to hell, and I hate you. I just want a fucking beer, you bitch. It's all your fault. Mary called herself the handmaid of the Lord. Putting herself at God's service, she also put herself at the service of others. Coffee, tea, or milk? What could I get you? Would you like fries with that? Do you need another beer? Here, let me take care of that for you. I did your laundry this morning. I hope your eggs aren't too cold. Let me wash your feet. Perhaps more than men, women acknowledge a person because they see persons independent of values, various ideological or political systems. In their greatness and limitations, they try to get out to them and help them. Do they say independently from reason? 2. Do they see people devoid of ideas, ideologies? Do they help their own murderers? Do they help people who won't help themselves? Do they not judge a person then? Do they not value one person differently from another? What is then love, respect, if it is not earned? What good are these women actually doing if their help is expected and not earned? Well, I have found that I must be the hound, enslaved because my hands and my feet are bound to the ground and I struggle to sing just one sound. So, thank you for singing this song, for showing me wrong is where I belong. I'm in a haze, yet I'm filled with this rage, encaged by the intricate maze on the stage. And I'm dazed as I page through my wage on this blaze. And I thank you for singing this song, for showing me wrong is where I belong. I smell the mace, so I cover my face. In case of my haste, I can trace a harsh taste in my pace. Isn't this race at all just a waste? Yes, thank you for singing this song, for showing me wrong is where I belong. Every time a man calls a woman a bitch, the threat of rape lies behind his hostility. Every time a man calls a woman a witch, he reminds her of the slaughter of millions whose independence and medical knowledge threaten male dominance. Every time a man makes a joke about rape or wife beating, he is issuing a warning against women. Every time a man calls a woman a babe, he tells her he thinks of her as a child. Every time a man calls a woman a fox, he shows her she's to be treated like an animal. Every time a man calls a woman a honey, he tells her that she is meant to be consumed. Every time a man calls a woman a doll, he tells her that she's something to be played with. Every time a man calls a woman a bag, he tells her she's something to be used. Every time a man calls a woman a slit, he tells her she's a body part, not a hole. Every time a man calls a woman a screw, all he's saying is what he'd do to her. Every time a man calls a woman a girl, he tells her she can't think like an adult. Every time a man calls a woman a whore, he tells her she's wrong for having sex. Every time a man calls a woman a leg, he tells her she's no good on her feet. Every time a man calls a woman anything less than a woman, he tells her who's the boss. So, yes, we all know who the boss is, boys. You've done such a good job of telling us. I had a best friend once, I said matter-of-factly as I stared into the palm of my hand. You laughed my remarks off as sarcasm, so I waited for a silence so I could have the thrill of breaking it. I had a best friend once, and he raped me. There, you wanted to hear it. How can you break the silence now? I've taken away your weapons. Have I taken away your compassion too? Tell me what good the knowledge does you now. Reminding me doesn't help, and there's nothing you can do to make the pain go away. As you sit there in silence, I wonder if there must be someone who can actually say something that needs to be, knows what needs to be said to me. No, a best friend, maybe. But if only a best friend can help me now, then I would prefer to not be helped. I don't want a best friend, and I don't ever want to find a best friend again. No, I don't feel as if something was taken away from me. He pushed himself through me, and he pushed everything that was inside of me off to the side. He just pushed me to the side, and all I feel is a hole. There was a void where he used to be. It's always there, and I wish like a hole in a wall, I could just fill myself up with something, patch myself up with something, so that there would no longer have to feel anything. But I can't. Anything to repair my injuries would only remind me that I was injured. I only wish that I could push myself back to where I used to be, where I should be, and fill that emptiness inside. As I rest my hand on me, I want to push myself back to where I should be, where I should be, but I can't. And every time I move, and every time I turn or sit or cross my legs, I feel the void. And although the burning is less intense, it is always there, where I was pushed aside. Some women are raped in their homes or in the streets by men whom we call strangers. Some women are raped in their homes or in the streets by men we call psychiatrists or doctors, college professors, friends, lovers, husbands, and fathers. Some women are raped in the streets or in the office by men who merely sit there and commit rape with looks, with smirks, with insults, with threats. You'll never understand. Have you ever felt that everything you did, from the clothes you chose to wear, to the way you styled your hair, to the way you walked down the street, to the way you sat at your desk, to whether you looked at people as they passed you in the grocery store when you picked up food for the family, have you ever felt that everything you did was under the scrutiny of half the world? That a stare could haunt you if you looked too confident, or your eyes wandered for too long and actually caught someone's gaze, or your skirt was too short, or you didn't cross your legs, or if you ate a banana, or happened to lick your lips. Have you felt it? Well, you're not a woman. I'm going to end with one that I read, and I'm going to pause him. One that I read at Amniphonic, so one or two of you might have heard this, because it doesn't have an altered voice in it. This is, to finish it off, a retired policeman talks about suicides he's seen. I remember one lady, and we found her in her bathtub as she cut her throat. That's odd for women. Normally they take pills. They don't like to disfigure themselves. But she knew what she was doing, cutting her throat in a full bath. Less messy that way. Autopsy said she was full of barbiturates. She was a nurse. That explained how she knew how to do it. But then we found out that she was pregnant, too. And to top it off, her brother was a priest. Thank you. All done. Thank you. Thank you very much, John. Thank you.